reaction
All right,
for
so
a little while
the
after
dialogue can be, why are people who aren't racist feeling that chill in their spine when they see this guy? Well, the problem is we are odds. And look, you can take it to anything. After 9/11, when you saw the guy, the swarthy guy with the beard and the robe who was coming through the airport, and he was, oh, shit, I hope that guy doesn't get on my flight. So we do this thing where it's like, oh, you guys hate black people. Oh, you guys hate Muslims. Oh, no, we have a fear. And we have a self-preservation instinct. And look, if we really wanted just to hate people, we'd hate Japanese people. We really would, because they bombed Pearl Harbor. We put them in internment camps. I mean, we didn't like Japanese people. But you know what's happened? Since then, they've made a fine quality automobile and mini pickup trucks, and they've excelled in math and science.
They made up for it.
They made up for it, and they don't pose a threat. Like, you don't feel that, oh, there's a Japanese guy getting on the flight with me. No, you don't have that situation.
You actually feel very comforting.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Like a good luck charm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You hear the pan flute behind you. No, I'm saying you take cultures that, and by the way, we hated the Japanese. We hated them. I mean, we put them in internment camps.
Yeah.
We formally hated the Japanese, and it took generation and a half, and we were done. Like, maybe our grandparents still say Japs, and we have some uncle that's 90 that fought these guys and did island hopping with these guys and fought it out with these guys, and he'll never forgive, or he'll never change his mind. He's set in his ways or whatever. But when we sit around here and think about Japanese people, we just think about good students and good automobiles, right? That's all we think of. So we have the opportunity to think this way or that way over many different cultures. And I know that the black leaders do this thing where they go, we've just singled out the black men and decided to discriminate against black men. But there's a million different opportunities for us to discriminate against, and we don't jump on. We don't jump on Eastern Indian men for some reason. There's plenty of, But
if we mistake them for Middle Eastern, we do.
Oh, we do? Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
After 9/11.
The thing is we take we try to figure out who poses a physical threat to us, who could possibly do it. And unfortunately, we don't really work the percentages. We just go, if this group is a little bit higher in the percentage, then we're not picking them up. Yeah. That's how we work. There's a black guy in the one corner, and there's a Japanese guy in the other corner, and we go, this guy poses less of a threat, and that's what we do.
So then what do black guys who aren't out to fuck with anyone do? Because that must suck.
Yes. Well, the first thing...
Dress really dirty.
The first...
Be the
Learn Japanese.
Yeah.
Be the nerdiest black guy.
Oh, there's the problem then. It's like, you want to take our culture away? Well, the sort of thug culture, because those are the guys that everyone's freaked out about. Yes, be honest here.
That was Geraldo's argument, that they shouldn't wear hoodies.
Well...
They should not be wearing hoodies. And then he had to apologize.
On the hoodie.
Right.
And how you're wearing it.
I'm afraid of both of you.
It is. I mean, the culture needs to change. The discussion of bringing up the young black male and why the poverty and why the violence and why, racist society aside, let's just say we're a horribly racist society. All right, maybe we are. And that'll never go away. So let's just take that as a constant that will never go away. Okay, now what are we going to do? Dads, hang out, raise your kid, focus on education, keep that kid out of trouble. We need discipline. We need disciplinarians at home. We need a family structure and a culture that says it's not okay to settle things with violence. We need a dad who's there to be the disciplinarian, and we need intact families. That's what we need. And the racist culture, well, somehow Barack Obama and Oprah Winfrey figured out a way to, skirt the system and get around that. Maybe we are racist. Maybe that'll never change. I mean, Spike Lee would probably say, look, let's face it, we're living in a racist culture. What are we going to do? Well, it's not going away. Whatever we have, whatever attempts at education, however we spin the news, it's not working. So let's just work on the one thing we can control. That's our family. That's our raising of our kids. That's the educating of our kids, and focus on that. And then see if things magically change. See if cab drivers magically start picking up young black teens. See if people stop being freaked out by young black teens in hoodies. I suspect it will magically change as that side of it changes. There's always going to be Zimmermans. I'm not saying this guy did anything right. I'm saying he was wrong 100%. And I'm not defending him and saying he's not a racist, but I'm saying they're not nearly as many racists as the Spike Lees of the world would like us think. And this culture is as even a playing field as you'll find on this planet. So if you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere.
I've now actually hit the age where I'm afraid of all teenagers.
That's right. You should
You guys
be.
have that?
Except
like if I'm walking down the
Japanese
street. No, regardless. It's more just an age and a sort of, I don't know. I don't know what I'm picking up on them. My own being kind of old now. I don't know. But I'm just like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm going
I
to
have
go on
that.
the other side of the
And
street. I don't know what they're going to do or say.
It's like that your
or
lead
shoplift.
story. I mean, they're shooting kids in school. Everything you see, it seems like a more violent generation. I don't know.
You're right.
I think it's
the news.
I think it's a sort of form of racist for the folks that should be getting involved and should be judging and should be saying, "Look, man, we got to get this together." The prisons are filled with your young teenage and young men. What the fuck is going on? Let's do something about this. It's, I can't judge. I don't want to say anything. It's not my culture. I can't do anything. I'm just not going to pick you up when I'm driving a cab.
It's so fucking complicated.
It's not
and
that.
so
It's not that.
entrenched.
It's not that complicated.
You don't think it is?
No, it's families. Get the families together. Here's what it is. There's a cultural family problem with African Americans. The dads aren't staying around and raising the kids. It's an epidemic, and everyone knows it, and no one's going to say shit about it. And you show me any culture where the dad splits, and I'll show you a culture where there's teens that are running unchecked, who aren't being disciplined, who are getting into trouble. Let's face it, that's it. And I think the culture should, and again, if Bill Cosby pipes up, then he's a pariah and he gets tossed out. But I'm saying we should address this like it's an epidemic, because it is. And not doing it for us, doing it for them and everyone else. I don't want the fucking prisons filled with black guys. I don't want the cab drivers not picking them up either. I don't want, and you can say, well, then knock it off, but they'll never knock it off as long as there's a disproportionate amount of violence created by one group or any group, whatever color they are. So let's focus on that family unit. When can we have the dialogue about the dads hanging out? When can we have that? We're not going to have it. The politicians aren't going to have it. They're going to kowtow to them. They're going to tell them what they want. They're going to talk about more social programs and better schools and better teachers, better principals and better everything. It's not that. It's the family. It's always the family. I've said it a million times. I went to North Hollywood High. We had Jews. We had blacks. We had Hispanics. We had white trash. Nobody went to college except for the Jews and the Asians. Why? Their families were intact. Every Jew I knew, their families were intact. They focused on education. Their kids went to Cal, UCLA, and Stanford, and the rest of us cleaned carpets.
Malcolm X picked the wrong religion, I think. I think
that's right. Should have been a Jew.
Had he started that trend, it would have been interesting instead of the Nation of Islam.
Right. So everyone is freaked out and uncomfortable because a white guy is talking about black culture, and that's not our job, and that's not our place, and haven't we done enough to these people? Now we're judging them and all that. But the reality is we have done enough to them. We've done enough horrible things to them, and it's time we do something for them. And part of that is addressing a problem. It's like we're a doctor.
We should send Michelle Pfeiffer to the inner city.
Yeah, we don't want to say you have cancer because we don't want to be mean. There's a cancer in that culture. The dads are getting people pregnant and they're leaving. That's a cancer. We need to focus on it like it's a problem, like the problem it is, and discuss it and see if we can fix it.
It's a tough problem to solve. You need to, there needs to be an incentive to stay. I think they need to create incentives.
Yes,
monetize your
needs to be like, you're going to get this many blowjobs. It's going to be like intense.
I'll do it. Give me the knee pads.
Yeah.
You know what? Can't we all just blow along? Yes, the incentive. Here's the incentive. I'm sorry for getting too serious for too long here, but the incentive is being judged. You see,
I feel like blowjobs is more motivating.
we need, and the black culture needs to start judging the guys who have 5, 6 kids and then split. In the Jewish community, you would be judged. If you started a large family and then decided to head off to Florida and ride out the rest of your life, you would be fucking judged. And we need to start judging as a culture. They need to judge themselves. We need to judge. Everyone needs to judge. It's not a bad thing. It's not all right to have this. It's an epidemic, and it will lead to everything. It will lead to poverty. It will lead to violence. It leads to crime. It leads to more unwanted kids. It's a horrible cycle, and we all as a society have to get together and start judging. And we can also judge and talk about racism at the same time and what we're going to do that. But we can't keep ignoring the elephant in the room. Thank
Next
you.
story.